Now to the UK, where Prime Minister Boris Johnson is being forced to self-isolate, and it couldn't have come at a worse time for him. Johnson is looking to take back control of his nation's agenda after a week of setbacks at 10 Downing Street. Bloomberg UK government reporter Tim Ross joins me now from London. Tim, great to have you on the show. So last week, two of Johnson's allies in Brexit negotiations left Downing Street, and now the Premier is forced to isolate. How can this streak of bad events affect this week's Brexit talks, and why is this week so important?
Well, on Brexit, it's important because there isn't much time left, to be honest. The UK is due to leave the European Union single market at the end of the year, and they've got to get a deal done, then turn that deal into law and get it ratified in the UK Parliament, as well as across the European Union too, and then get businesses to prepare for these new terms. And, you know, there's hardly any time left to make all that work. But as always, these things do go to the wire, and we're expecting a bit more negotiating this week and maybe next week, and who knows, possibly even the week after that as well, before we actually get a deal.
So what happens if a deal isn't reached? I mean, is that something that is even being considered right now?
It's definitely being considered. It's one of those massive questions facing the UK and Boris Johnson right now. He's got to decide if he's going to back down and compromise in the way that will unlock these negotiations. That's the position of the European Union. They say it's for the UK to move first. Britain, on the other hand, has hit back this morning, and Johnson's spokesman has said the European Union must show more realism in the talks if they want a deal. So no deal is definitely still on the cards. We think Johnson wants a deal, but we're not sure yet whether he's going to get one, because there are some quite big differences between the two sides.
Tim, what's it like on the ground there? I mean, I know that you are in lockdown, as many people are, of course, but when it comes to this being a topic of conversation among people in the UK, is this something that has just dragged on for 4 years and they're sick of talking about it? Or is this something that, because it will have huge implications for day-to-day life, remains on the minds of people who live there?
It's a bit of a sleeping giant, I think, Brexit at the moment. You can get a sense that actually at the turn of the year, if there's no deal, and even if there is a deal, there'll be very big changes in terms of what happens at the border and how people can go about life, and perhaps prices too. But at the moment, the real focus is on coronavirus. It's wall-to-wall coronavirus, the coverage in the media here, and that's the only real issue that people are talking about. Business is obviously concerned about Brexit too, but at the moment it's a little bit below the main headlines.
Yeah, and because of that, Johnson's agenda is certainly up in the air, I think, and because of Brexit as well. So what does he need to achieve in order to take back control?
Well, so Johnson, as you were saying earlier, has had a really terrible week last week with his two most loyal and influential advisors really leaving his team, Dominic Cummings, who is this sort of Steve Bannon kind of figure really at the heart of the UK government, and Lee Cain, his spin doctor. So Johnson really has got to pick some new people to come in and take charge of his operation in number 10 Downing Street, to try to build bridges again with the public, who are getting weary, and his own party, who are full of criticism really about how the government has handled the pandemic over the last 6 months or so. There's quite a lot to do, certainly for Johnson, as he's trying to juggle Brexit at the same time.
Bloomberg UK government reporter Tim Ross in London. Thanks so much for your time, Tim. We appreciate you joining us on Quick Take.
The biggest stories the moment they happen from around the globe. Subscribe to Bloomberg Quick Take now for insight in an instant.